Good morning and welcome to my channel. Today I would like to make pierogis with blueberries. Fresh fruits in pierogis. Some of you might be surprised, fruit, but believe me, those are very, very good and we had them as children lots of times. Either blueberries or strawberries or even plum. You can have all kinds of pierogis, meat pierogis, kraut pierogis, sauerkraut with mushrooms, just mushrooms, sausage. It's a dark blood sausage, which I'm not a fan of, but that's another thing. And spinach and cheese. Possibilities are endless. Whatever you put in, you can explore, experiment, and see which one you like best. But the blueberries pierogis have been around for quite a while. I was born in the 70s and I had them as a child. I made them a couple weeks ago for my children to see if they will eat it because they are very, very, very picky eaters. You can have those with just butter or you can have them with sour cream. Some people like that. Some people like to put some powdered sugar on top to make it a sweeter treat. Or you can make a blueberry sauce using blueberries, some milk, and some sugar, and just pour that sauce on top of the pierogis. I treated my neighbors to the blueberry pierogis last week, and they loved it. So I went and got them, another set of the blueberry pierogis. It's worth a try. Welcome to my kitchen, and thank you for watching. For pierogi dough, I will need about 2 cups of all-purpose flour, which is 300 grams, 2 egg yolks, about 1.5 spoons of butter, just a drizzle of olive oil. And what the olive oil does to the pierogi dough is makes it more elastic. Blueberries are not easy to put in, so I need that extra elasticity to make the dough hold my blueberries better. And the liquid, I like to mix half milk and half water, and it's a little bit more than half a cup, and then a pinch of salt. Regarding that pierogi dough, I love soft dough. I bought a couple of packages from a store and the store bought pierogis. No, I decided to just make my own every time. The secret to it for me is not using the whole egg, only the egg yolks. The egg white makes the pierogi tougher. Also, with this, like I mentioned, I like to put a drizzle of olive oil into that dough to make it more elastic. Just because blueberries has a specific shape and it's harder to squeeze it and keep them inside. So if my dough is more elastic, it is easier to put them inside and keep them inside and lock them. And for me, the milk in water mixed with water also makes the pierogi softer and a little bit more richer, not so plain like a cardboard. I love food with some flavor and taste, and every time I make this recipe using those ingredients, pierogi dough is much, much better. So I hope you will try it and you will like it and you will be happy that you did. So let's get the pierogi started. My blueberries are washed in cold water and then I needed to dry them and I sprinkle them with sugar. Those are the blueberries I'm gonna use for my pierogis. The best blueberries for pierogis are the wild blueberries because they are much, much smaller. When you buy the regular blueberries, then they are much bigger and it's harder to work with them. So my 2 cups of flour, 300 grams, have a teaspoon of salt in. I will just create here a little hole for the egg yolks. And very useful tool, scraper. When you make your pierogi dough, take your time. Don't be in a hurry. Get your warm water with milk and butter in slowly. Work with it slowly. It is much better if you have a little bit more liquid and your dough is wet because it's easier to incorporate more flour into it than the other way around when you have your dough too dry and then you want to put some liquid in. It's not going to work. So very slowly. Doesn't spread all over, working with liquid, it goes all over the place. I should have about 30 pierogis out of 300 grams of flour. Just gently and slowly mix it up. And now I can put a drizzle of that olive oil. Just a little bit. And the rest of my liquid. And now I can work with my hands, get the dough in one piece. Okay. And now that I have it, all the ingredients incorporated here, a little bit of flour and just work with the dough for like maybe 3 minutes or so. And here we go. My dough is ready. And now I wish I could let you touch it. Important part in the next step is to wrap it in foil and leave it to rest for half an hour. All the little monoculars have to connect and the dough is going to be softer. So if you could touch it now, how it is, and then after half an hour of just resting, I will try to do it again and see if camera can actually show anything. Because I would love for you to feel the difference, what it does when the dough rests for half an hour. So wrap it. So I will have to drizzle it with a bit flour so it's not sticking to my foil here. And just leave it to be. So it has been half an hour. I want to take my dough out, and again, I wish you could touch it. Unfortunately, I can't make this happen through the phone. See how soft it became. Like, it's so easy to make a punch and stretch it. Much, much, much softer after resting for half an hour. All those little particles, they need to relax, get lazy, and the dough became nice and soft and easy to work with. Okay, time to roll it. So a little bit of flour and my wonderful tool. Let me see, I think this is good enough. If you love using a round shape and use the glass to cut out beautiful circles, you are welcome to. I do not do that because what do you do with the leftover dough? You have to put it all together again, re-roll it, more flour, and the dough is not as soft anymore. I do not like wasting the dough, so I just use knife and cut squares out of it. Since the dough is so soft and elastic, I can shape it without the need to waste any of the dough. So here is my pierogi dough, couple blueberries. And yes, it is harder to work with blueberries. They are slippery, can fall out. So the first round is just to close them in, lock the blueberries inside. Okay, and I have a square right now. So the second round is to push the corners inside, and that way you will create more round shape. And you don't have to waste any of that beautiful soft dough. So first round again, just lock the blueberries in so they don't escape. They don't run out on you. And then second round, push the corners in. If your pierogis are not sticking together, what you can do is have a small dish, put some water in, dip your fingers and dip the edges before you lock them. And that should help with closing the dough. lacking the blueberries inside. Corners are sticking out, like little ears here on the sides. Push the corners inside, in, and then you will have more round shape. So when I started making pierogis myself, it takes about 2-3 minutes for them to boil in hot water, and then you take them out. So that's what I did. I took them out in a dish, just left them to cool off. And many of the pierogis opened up, the inside fell out and it was just the empty dough. Now what I do is have ice water in a dish, and as soon as my pierogis are done boiling, I take the pierogi out straight into that ice water. What happens is, going from hot to cold, the dough locks itself, and I do not lose any of them. Helpful thing to know, and easy thing to do. Have a dish with ice water, and as soon as they are done, put the pierogis in ice water. And that way they cool off faster, so you can actually enjoy them faster. In Poland, our blueberries from the forest, the wild blueberries, very, very small, so it's easier to work with those. I have a hard time finding wild blueberries here in America. I went to 3 different stores and none of them had it. If you have frozen blueberries, the frozen blueberries can work as well. You just have to defrost them, discard all the juices, all the water out, and then put some sugar in and do the same thing you do with the fresh ones. The frozen blueberries are even better for the sauce. When you mix blueberries, sugar, and a bit of milk, and then you can put that sauce over the blueberries. My mom used to make the blueberry sauce and strawberry sauce for strawberry pierogis. Try to get one side locked first. Okay, one side. And then top. And then the other side. That way, less chance of them falling out. I don't mind cooking. It's the cleaning that's harder. Okay? So last time, corners in, push them in, and then you have a nice round shape without wasting the beautiful dough. So I have about 36 pierogis, depending how big you're going to make them. It should be no less than 30. Now I need to get my water boiling and put pierogi in. My water is almost boiling. I will still put some salt into the water, even though pierogis have blueberries. And as soon as the water starts boiling, I can put the pierogis in. And like I mentioned before, I have a dish with ice. I will pour some water in, and that will be next to my pierogis. So a couple minutes after they boil, I take them up straight into that icy water. And then from there, into this. So the water can discard, and my pierogis will be ready. I'm telling you, this icy water works. There is one pierogi in maybe 100 I lose, but all of them are nice and tight and just the way it should be. Okay, my water is boiling. So pierogis go in. As soon as they come out to the surface and start boiling, it will take a couple minutes. I like to have a bigger pot so they're not crowded and it's easier to stir. So gently stir the water a little bit so the pierogis don't stick to the bottom. Okay, couple minutes. And I have some leftover blueberries and I will use them to make that sauce. Put them in a blender with a little bit of milk and sugar, and that's all it takes. You will have a wonderful, delicious blueberry sauce. So my pierogis are ready to be taken out. Okay, last one. Okay, it will only take a few seconds. And now I can take them out so the water can drip down. I have melted some butter. I like it plain with just butter, but I also put my blueberries in a blender and some milk and sugar, and I will make that sauce. So 2 different options, and again, some people like it with sour cream. So here is a plate with that blueberry sauce. And the blueberry sauce might not look that great because of the color, but it is delicious.